when I was 16, I was still a virgin. That was because, first of all, I was in love with a boy who didn't know me. He couldn't know because he left for the army before I had the guts to say hi. At that time, all boys in the Soviet Union served in the army at 18 for 3 years. Second of all, I dated a girl from my college. I dated her because the boy was aware. We only had girls in my college. All boys served in the army in Afghanistan and other places. Homosexuality was illegal in the Soviet Union. That is what they call love between men. Men were put in prison for love. Love between women did not exist. We did not tell anyone we were in love. We didn't know how to do anything in bed because there were no books or movies or anything like that. So we kind of invented stuff. We invented a lot of things. Tampons, for example, as all that was available in the drugstores was loose cotton wool, and that was not always available. So I was a virgin, and it was a problem. I didn't feel like sleeping with any of the boys that I knew. They had all just returned from the army or sometimes prison and drank vodka and smelled bad like onions and dirt. My girlfriend already had an abortion. Condoms were not available either. One winter day, I got a ride from a gypsy cab. Gypsy cabs were illegal cabs. Plenty were available. Men would give girls a ride for free, for a talk, and would ask for stuff. But if you said no, it was no, usually. It was dangerous, and at night many girls got raped, but that was their own fault, right? So I got a ride from my work to the college. The gypsy cab was a long, black government car with a lot of zeros in the license plate. The man wore a leather jacket and talked and smoked without a break. He was maybe 50. He had a strange, large belly, while the rest of him was quite skinny. He looked like a pregnant cockroach. He asked me about the school and work. I told him I work at a military factory and I was studying to be an English teacher. Then he asked me if I wanted to fuck. And though normally I said no, I said yes because I thought it was a good opportunity to lose my virginity and never see him again. He was married. His wedding ring gleamed in the smoke. We drove out of town and parked behind the train station. Only, I said, I never did it before. He said, and he kept laughing, and he laughed, and he laughed, as he found out it was true. He smelled like moldy cucumber and cheese salad and Marlboro cigarettes. His giant stomach was soft and heavy, and it lasted 3 minutes. And it hurt a lot, but not as bad as at the dentist's. We did not have anesthesia, so drilling teeth hurt the worst in the world, and we compared all pain to it. The train passed by. I still remember the taradam, taradam, taradam sound of the wheels and the whistle and the bright light, a flash over the car. And I kept my eyes open. My eyes were dry, so he laughed. And he gave me 30 rubles and 3 rubles for not crying. It was a lot of money, my monthly wage. So I said, no, it's okay. And he said, listen to me. Take my money and take my advice. Never give anything away for free. Got it? And I said, got it. Can I have a cigarette then? He laughed more, his belly trembling, and he gave me a whole pack of Marlboros. Red and shiny. I'd never had a Marlboro before. It was strong and I liked it. And then he drove me to college, and on the way he told me he wanted to rent a room for me and have me there as his mistress. You have big boobs and speak English, he said. You can work for us by going to hotels and sleeping with foreigners and asking them questions. Nothing special. How was the weather in London before you come here? And when are you going to the theater to see ballet? We will pay you 3,000 rupees a month. And in 5 years, we'll find a nice Finnish or Swedish man and marry you off abroad. Deal? Who are we? I asked. KGB, he said, laughing, his belly trembling like jello. I gave him my number and went to the cafeteria. There I met my girlfriend and we smoked Marlboros and I told her everything. Does it hurt? She asked. Not like the dentist. And we laughed. We then skipped the class. We bought a big bag of pot from a pusher we knew. We were still 16, so no one would sell us heroin before we turned 18. We smoked that pot all winter. It was so dark and cold outside. My dad was dying of cancer and my mom was busy. My girlfriend's mother had killed herself a long time ago. Her father was never at home, so no one bothered us as we smoked and kissed in the bedroom. Mainly just held each other and looked each other in the eyes. Her eyes were like warm honey. Her arms felt like home. And I met the KGB guy a few more times that winter. He gave me a lot of money and Marlboro cigarettes. I got used to his trembling belly. I was going to work for the foreigners. And then he brought another man in black leather jacket to try me out. The second man had this narrow face like a rat and scary blue eyes that drilled into me. He was younger, maybe 30 and very pale. He looked like a dead man. But now that I look at photos in newspapers, I think he looked like Putin. Very much so. But a lot of Russian men look like Putin, so I'm not sure. So I looked into his cold eyes and jumped out the car and ran down the road. I couldn't do it with both of them. I never saw them again. By the time the boy I loved returned from the army, I already had a kid. I was 19. My parents had died, so I moved to Finland. I married a nice man and I lost touch with everyone. A year ago, a college friend called me. She talked about some girls we used to know. Some got married, some divorced, and some died. Oh, and you know who else killed herself, she asked. Can't remember her name, but you guys hung out all the time. The girl with the yellow hair. Yeah, threw herself under the train. She was raped or beaten or something. She had no face left. They beat her so bad. No face at all. I have a good life. My kid is doing well, but I just keep thinking about the train coming, and I can hear in my ears ta-da-dum, 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 and the whistle and the bright light. And I feel the pain, and it's worse than at the dentist's. At night, I look outside the window at the snow. Snow is just the same as at home. Snow is the same everywhere. I think about that winter and her face. And I just can't remember the face. All I can see are those honey-hued eyes.